All right. It's another beautiful night here in Melbourne, Australia. Okay, it's let me check the time right now, 10:18 p.m. And really what I want to get into today is some personal experiences that I recently have started to become aware of and realize, right? So, as you know, I'm 18 and this past year I've gone through a lot, a lot of thoughts about myself, a lot of things, like of the person you want to become, I want to become. All right. And the big pivot was when I went to Thailand for 4 months, like a whole new different environment, a whole new different world from, basically growing up here in Australia for all those years and the normal environment with the school friends, right? Because school realistically is for like 12, I don't know, but something like 12 years of your life, right? And when I came back, what I wanted to really get at was building relationships with people, maybe becoming more social, this type of thing. Because you know the past year I haven't really been doing this stuff because when you want something different from a lot of other people, you become a bit alone and you get used to it, right? And when you get used to something, you start to act in a way where you don't earn yearn for other people's company, like to be around other people, right? So yeah, you know, okay. I want to talk about this. So Charlie Morgan, I was listening to what he was talking about on realities, right? And I'll link it back to like what I experienced too. But first, I really want to talk about this because I really feel like it's super important for anybody listening to understand this. So there's two types of realities, okay? Two: subjective reality and obviously, the objective reality where it is what it is, the truth, all this type of stuff. But with the subjective reality, it is, a person's experiences, their own personal opinions on a matter, right? So for subjective reality, you can think of it like this. Let's say your friends or your family or your partner, right? They have this own subjective reality of who you are, the type of person you are. Why? Because they only see certain parts of your life that you allow them to see. That's why I really believe that people never really see the true version of you. You know, everybody is always different around other people, even if we like it or not. But that's just how the way we're engineered, and that's just how the way we are, right? So once these people start to have, their own biases and opinions about who you are as a person based off their subjective reality of, in their head, um, they remember the old version of you. Let's say the old version of Jason when he was at school, and this is what my friends asked me, right? Like when I met with them, and I felt like my past crawling back to me, and I didn't like this. It's like I don't really like this, okay? Because I tried so hard. That's why I went to Thailand. I tried so hard to escape from that version of myself, my past, all these type of things, and like I don't know why I allowed it to creep back at me by, you know, touching again with the old people from my past, right? And what they kept saying was, Jason, why did you leave school? Jason, like, did you regret it? Like Jason, oh, you should have stayed, like you could have had all these experiences, etc., etc. But it's just like, because they have this perception of you, of, still from that Jason, um that didn't leave high school yet. That, that's their perception of who I am. And then 1 year later, right, their perception is basically still that, with a few fake, uh how do I say it, like fake opinions and beliefs about who I am, like that they made up themselves. Right? That's subjective reality. They always have a few experiences of who you are, and then they fill in the gap of what they think, from their own opinions about you, right? That's why so many people like to judge, so many people like to assume, and, at the end of the day, that's why we should not care about people's opinions about us, right? And, you know, I want to tie this to relationships too, because recently I've started to feel that, right? Because let's say the person you're talking to, your girlfriend or your wife, you know, they may think they know you, they may think they know who you are, they may think, you know, they know everything about you, right? But they only know this version of you that you allow them to know, if you understand what I mean. You know, relating that back to subjective realities, because, they have so much experiences of, oh, Jason did this, did that, did this, and then, they start filling in the gaps and then making their own perceptions of you. That's the type of dangerous things that we should not really, how do I say it? Like, worry about too much. Don't let it bum you out, or don't let it fill up your head like me. But I'm lucky I caught myself doing it, or else it would have ended in a bit of misery, right? So, this is why we shouldn't really let other people hurt us, like drain our energy, drain the person you want to become, the new version of yourself. Because people change, right? Like, if you stay the same for the rest of your life, then did you really live your life? Like, you have stages in your life. You have, when you're a kid, like toddler age, okay? When you're a teenager, which is me right now, 18 years old, in your 20s, 30s, all these different like stages in your life, you should progress, you should ascend, you should try and be a new person, a better person, right up to the point where you die. At the end of the day, the Stoics always like to say, we all go to the same path in the grave. But what do we want to do in our lives right now? You know what I mean? Like, if we know what we want to do, why will you be sad? Why will you be mad? Why will you be conscious or worried about what the fuck people have their perceptions on you or opinions on you, or, like what they think you should do? Fuck them. Fuck them. Okay? Like, actually, it's just like, you know, it might come off as if you want to be a narcissistic person, but at the end of the day, whose life is it to live? Is it yours or is it theirs? Do you want to live their life for them, or do you want to live your life whatever way you want? Just have a think about that, guys. And yeah, we're all on this journey. We're all figuring out what it is we want from life, you know. And the main thing, just do what you want. Don't let other people's opinions get the best of you, because people don't give a fuck. Like you might think they do, but realistically, they don't. They have their own life. You should have your own life and do what you want to do. All right. On to the next one. Ciao, ciao, guys.